I am Varinder Parihar and I am in the office of a major IT company, Autonomy in their Bangalore office. Today we have with us Mr. Nagendra Prasad, the HR Manager of the Autonomy, and today we are going to discuss something, some serious problems about freshers hiring and in particular and hiring in general with Mr. Nagendra Prasad. Welcome, sir, to the show. Yeah. So, sir, first of all, I would like you to just brief us about your company.
Yeah, Autonomy started its operations in 1996 in Cambridge in UK. We have headquarters in Cambridge in UK. This company is sprang out of the research labs from Cambridge University. We are basically into meaning-based computing, and our product portfolio revolves around web content management, email archiving, data mining. Augmented reality is another thing that we are closely working on. So our core product, our flagship product, is called Idle, and this is the only R&D center in India that's operating in Bangalore.
Okay.
See, hiring is need-based.
Okay.
And depending upon the requirement, we either opt for laterals or freshers.
Okay.
Freshers, of course, we bet on long-term proposition, because in that way we are able to groom them, blend them into our kind of work, so that we see them as long-term prospects.
Okay.
So it's always need-based, and most of the people that we have in our R&D center have started their career as freshers. So they have now become leads and project leads, and that's how we are seeing them. So reasons can be multifold. Right? It may be quality of education, it may be quality of the institutions that is churning out these candidates, and quality of individuals themselves, right? How far they have gone in terms of their own learning, and how they are able to put themselves forward, put themselves across to companies that are hiring. Because companies have different perspectives, different viewpoints in terms of looking at a candidate, and these candidates should be able to measure up to their expectations. Okay. Be it they test their conduct or the attitude that they're looking for in these candidates. So there is no one reason why that can contribute us to tell you that why people are not employable. Okay. We have surplus of people.
Exactly.
And companies always look for candidates at entry level who have the potential to learn, to have the right attitude, who can scale up, because companies don't want to spend a lot of time on training people.
Okay.
So this is what they look at candidates, and if during the process of interview, written test, if these attributes reflect in their persona, then they have good chance of selling themselves.
Okay.
So why a lot of people are still unemployed despite coming out of engineering colleges? I think the reasons can be this. I mean, they should hone their skills on technologies that are in vogue in current scenario, probably get trained on certain things, thorough training. I mean, they should be very thorough in their fundamentals, because no organization explores a candidate at entry level in the same viewpoint as the laterals. So they look at entry level candidate just to see what he has studied or learned, whether he has gone in depth.
Okay.
Right, on fundamentals. And secondly, in their criteria, whatever criteria or yardstick that they would have in terms of tests, interviews, whether they measure up to that level. I think these things are devised keeping in mind entry level, to assess an entry level.
Okay.
So they should actually groom themselves or prepare themselves to fit into this kind of scenario where they can sell themselves.
Okay.
And I think fundamentally they should be very strong, right? And many times we have seen people coming from obscure towns and coming to city. And they may not have opportunities there to find a job, but when they come to city and when they when they attend multiple tests and interviews, they come to, they learn over a period of time, but by then they will lost a lot of time.
Exactly.
So ideally they should be prepared when they go for a test, right? And they should be prepared when they attend an interview.
Okay.
And also they keep honing, if not on the technology skills which we expect of laterals, at least from the fresher point of view.
Okay.
Fundamentally, if it's say for example Java or C++, fundamentally they should have knowledge on these things, because usually we look at only fundamentals when we look at interview, nothing more than that.
Okay.
And also they should not have any preconceived notions about a job.
Okay.
Because a fresher should not have a particular mindset that he will be getting into development, he will be getting into that testing, or if he has some bias, because they would, I'm sure many of these people will not have any idea as to what this role would entail, because each of these roles have a significant part to play in a scheme of things in our organization. So a person should not have any preconceived notion. He should be open to take up any opportunity that he or she will get, and then from there on, then they will have from there the journey begins, and then they'll be able to see what is the way, how they want to shape up their career, how in depth they want to go into a particular role. And that's how they should see it as a second extension of their college. 1 or 2 years, immediately after their college is the extension of their college. That's when they will learn and grow. They should not have any particular mindset about a job. We've seen that in many people, right? So that's not a good indication.
So you mean to say, attitude also is very important.
Very important. Because here, most of the organizations, we don't launch rockets, right? We don't require scientists.
Exactly.
We want people who can learn, who can be trained, and who are willing to go that extra yard and learn, pick up things, and be independent, be accountable.
Okay. Let me get some personal with you actually. The first job is always a dream job. For anyone. On our side we have got huge number of freshers coming into every day, logging into site and just asking questions, same question every day through email or chat or everything. That how can I get my first dream job? How can I get into my dream company? So if I ask you, what was your first dream job, or was it your first dream job when you got your first job?
See, these are all notions. How do you define a dream job, right? It depends upon your perception. What is it you are expecting out of the job?
Thanks.
But at the same time, if a company is so big, so successful, it also expects great deal from a person it's employing. So a person should be very clear, not just go by media or because companies which have those reputations are come by hard way in building. And they look for candidates who can help them further grow. So if you talk about a dream company, then they should be prepared. They should be prepared really to accept the challenge, and we should do a thorough research in terms of what it takes to get them there. And may or may not be possible for all of us to get into a particular company which we aspire to join, or the inspiring companies. But that's not the end of the world, right? All companies that are functioning at the end of the day are in business, and they're contributing to the technology sector in a way that they can. And a person should be humble enough to accept that if he or she is not able to get into a company that they aspire for, and probably make their journey forward, join a company, learn technologies, make themselves indispensable in the system they're working for. Definitely opportunity will grow down the line. So the companies are hiring and they're always looking for good talent. So if they're able in the formative years, if they become fundamentally strong in technology that they worked upon, I think then it will be more easy for them to get into place whichever they choose for. So we have seen that happen in reality, and I think people can also find it interesting.
Okay, sir. One last message, if you have to give out to freshers, what it would be? through Freshers World?
One has to keep their eyes and ears open wherever there are opportunities.
Okay.
Because I know it's very difficult to get first break unless you are in the circumstance where you have got an opportunity. So take each test or interview as seriously as that's the turning point in your life. Give it the best shot and be prepared. I mean, people should prepare when they come to test. People should prepare when they attend an interview. I mean, there's no point in just attending for an experience. So they should think that that means that this job or this particular position means a world to them, and give their best shot at it. I think only then it will reflect in an interview, it will reflect in a test. Otherwise, they'll be spending a lot of time just attending tests and interviews. So each test requires a different approach. They should do some research about the company that they are attending for. Be very positive.